Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aberdeen, Mississippi for the high school game of the week here on your local sports connection. Mike Campbell, Bill Morgan, proud to bring you the game of the week here from Aberdeen, Mississippi, where the Pontotoc Warriors come calling on the Bulldogs here on a great night for high school football here. Bill, I understand they got a pretty good rain here earlier on this afternoon. The field looks like it's in great field condition here for this game, and a little bit of coolness comes in after that sun finally set tonight. We got a great night for high school football here from Aberdeen.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're proud to be here tonight. My first trip, I believe, here to Aberdeen as far as the football program goes, but we're proud to be here at Aberdeen, Mississippi tonight. We welcome all of our viewers in the Monroe County area, Aberdeen, Amory areas here tonight. Proud to be a part of the system down here with MetroCast Cable Channel 98. Broadcasting your game right here tonight. Aberdeen hosting the Pontotoc Warriors, of course, who we covered last week when they played South Pontotoc there at the Holla in Pontotoc. And again, proud to be here tonight. Looking forward to what we believe will be a very competitive football game. As you take a look at the band across the way, a large crowd traveling as usual for Pontotoc, decked out in the yellow and black across the way, and of course Amory in their blue and white uniforms here on the near side as we get set for some what we feel, as I said, will be a really good ball game here tonight. We'll be talking about the two programs as we go throughout the broadcast, but excitement here tonight. Already in our second week of football, Pontotoc with a 2-0 start, looking to try to stay perfect right here tonight, but Soup, it'll be a challenge as we've already talked about some of these athletes here at Aberdeen and the quality of athletes that they have here. Of course, they are the North Half runner-up, losing to Tylertown in the state championship last year. But some great athletes coming through this program. Of course, the Love kid last year that went on to Mississippi State. And they've got some really good athletes here tonight. Pontotoc will have their hands full. We'll see what Coach Napier and them have elected to try to do to contain this team.
You're exactly right. It'll be some big-time athletes on the field. We saw a week ago, as you mentioned, Bill, Pontotoc, they've got some young kids that really have stepped up and really have have got their number called, and they've stepped up to the challenge this year. We saw number 7, Marcus Reed, out of the backfield last week for Pontotoc in the quarterback slot. We saw him. He's got a great arm. We saw him hit some long passes last week. Elsie and him connected there early on in the second half last week with a big play there, a long pass and catch. And we saw him. We know he's got a great arm. We know Rashad Dixon is some kind of athlete for Pontotoc. But the man that they're going to count on most of this year to do most of the running is number 2, Randall Creighton. And Creighton, he came up a little lame last week on that ankle again. He's had trouble with it most of the off season this year. And for Pontotoc to be very effective and score a bunch of points, they've got to rely on Randall Creighton to be effective out of that backfield and really pick up some big yards. It's going to be interesting to see how effective he is tonight, Bill. But on the other hand, Aberdeen comes in. They're going to counteract with number 1, Victor Hodges. We know Hodges has been the man the first 2 weeks for Aberdeen. We expect to see a lot of him tonight. But the man that we've heard so much about him, you'll see him coming down the sideline right now, the captain right there, the man leading the way. He's got number 11 on tonight. He wears a bunch of different numbers or whatever, but I'm not too sure if that's him, but I think 50 is the man. I think that may be his younger brother, Channing, right there, 11 right there. But the man that we're looking for, he's going to have on 50 or 51. We understand he's the man that we understand is being recruited by some major big-time program college football, and we're expecting to see a lot out of him tonight.
Yeah, only a junior, and already we've been told some 200 schools looking at him, anywhere from USC to Florida, Alabama, of course, State and Ole Miss. Obviously, Soup, a big-time prospect right here in his junior season. Boy, when you got that kind of a talent here as a junior, you know there's some talent in that kid. They said they're actually camping out here watching him play. So interesting to see what Pontotoc's going to do with him. You know, that's a tall order here tonight for the Warriors. We talked about Creighton last week. I mean, he's averaging 72.5 yards rushing per game, so you got to think he's going to have to be a key here tonight for Pontotoc to get something going.
You're exactly right. It's going to be a tale of the tape to see which team can wrestle the momentum here. Both teams coming in with some success last week and some big-time, really some routes is the best way to put it. Pontotoc's going to have to come up with an answer for this Aberdeen tandem. We know that Hodges is the man. They also have a pretty good receiver, I understand, too, Bill, and it's going to be interesting to see what this Pontotoc defense can do. We saw last week 32 Westbrooks and 12 Anthony Peters, both of them just sophomore Bills. They made a lot of plays defensively for Pontotoc last week, and we saw Pontotoc's got a lot more team speed this year than we've ever seen out of a Pontotoc team in a long, long time from top to bottom. That speed is going to be challenged tonight, and we know Aberdeen has got some big-time athletes that are going to be able to run with the ball and run to the ball also, and it's going to be interesting to see which team can come out on top here tonight. As you mentioned, big crowd here, Bill, and we're getting ready for high school football.
Yeah, as you said, some youngsters last week we saw for Pontotoc stepping up, really playing a good ball game. A lot of sophomores there, as we were discussing earlier. You mentioned Hodges for Aberdeen, 136 yards rushing per game, and McMillan's that receiver we were talking about for Aberdeen, 125 yards receiving per game. So you got to think Pontotoc is going to have to somehow slow these numbers down tonight if they have a chance to win this ball game.
You're exactly right. Both teams are behind the banners here, and we're getting ready for high school football as the Aberdeen Bulldogs are in their tunnel, and they're getting ready. Pontotoc behind their banner, and here comes Aberdeen arm in arm onto the playing surface here tonight. They're getting ready for high school football. Here comes Pontotoc breaking on to the playing surface, and we're getting ready for high school football. Going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. As you mentioned, Bill, Aberdeen Bulldogs, the North Half champions in 3A football only a year ago, and they've still got a lot of talent here. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens here tonight. Going to get things kicked off here in just a moment as Pontotoc and the Aberdeen Bulldogs getting set to do battle here on the gridiron tonight from Aberdeen, Mississippi. A big crowd, smoke bowling across the way, and we're getting set for high school football.
Well, you take a look at head coach Charlie Dampier doing a really good job as he's in his, year at Pontotoc, I think maybe third year. Time gets away from us, but Coach Dampier really coming in and setting a tone for the Warriors as he's done an excellent job here as you see him on the sidelines over there as he gets his team prepped here tonight. But big win last week, 40-0 for the Pontotoc Warriors, but it's a different beast here tonight.
You're exactly right. It was a good victory a week ago from the Hollow in Pontotoc against the county rivals, the South Pontotoc Cougars. But the Aberdeen Bulldogs, as Bill mentioned, is a whole different story here tonight from Aberdeen, Pontotoc. Getting set for this road game here tonight. A good crowd on hand. Great night for football here from Aberdeen, Mississippi.
Bulldogs last week putting up 64 points against Ray Brooks in a 64-6 victory on the road. So both teams, as you said, coming off huge wins where they were just outmanned their opponent. We should really see a whole lot better of a ball game here tonight as we get set for this one. And boy, you can tell second week of football, the excitement's in the air as the Warriors going to receive. Aberdeen's going to kick it away.
The Aberdeen Bulldogs get the ball teed up here on the 40-yard line, and they're getting ready to do battle.
They've had trouble with Pontotoc. Warriors have won 2 out of the last 3 of these.
Number 30 comes forward on the football there, and that's going to be Strellinger as 20 Elsie receives the football, and he's not going to make it back to the 20-yard line. He's going to be down on about the 18-yard line, and there's going to be flags flying from the near sideline, Bill. And I'm not too sure if that was even anything that took place on the field that time, Bill. It was the side judge over here that threw it long after the play was already decided on the field.
Yeah, didn't see exactly what that was, but here's a
dead ball. Sideline warning already.
Wow.
Against the Aberdeen Bulldogs. So Pontotoc getting set for their first offensive possession from their own 18-yard line. As we mentioned, it's going to be an interchanging system. It looks like Dixon coming out under center here. Number 1 under center here, full house backfield behind him. Dixon under center. Not very much up the middle that time, and it looked like it was going to be. It looked like Falver, the ball carrier. We saw him a week ago. He carried the ball very effectively, and that time it looked like it was Don Falver, the ball carrier. He's not going to have very much, if anything. We'll give him maybe the length of the football progress. They're going to call it a 2nd down and 10 situation here, as no forward progress there on the football. Dixon 1 under center for the Warriors. Barking signals left and right. It's going to be Fowler, the ball carrier again, and Fowler is going to fall forward. He's going to gain up to about the 21-yard line, and it's going to be a gain of about 3 there on the play. It's going to be a 3rd down and 7 possession play facing the Warriors here early.
Yeah, tough going here for the running game. Warriors going to keep it on the ground and find tough going here up the middle, trying to run against this line here for Aberdeen, who's got a pretty good looking line out there as we take a look at the guys out on the field. But as you said, number 1 in at quarterback.
Here comes Reed in now. Reed,
yeah,
Shaq Creighton, and his older brother Randall Creighton all check into the ball game here. Spread offense now. Reed is the quarterback now. He's going to dump it off, and there is Randall Creighton. Creighton up the field. He's going to be very near 1st down yardage. Maybe going to be stopped just a tad bit short there, Bill. They're going to give him forward progress somewhere around the 27-yard line, and that's going to be a 4th down situation here facing the Pontotoc Warriors. It's going to be 4th down and a long 2, maybe a short 3. And Pontotoc not exactly sure what they're going to do right here. It looks like they may be bringing a play into the huddle here.
That's kind of surprising, 4th and 3.
Oh, my goodness. Here Pontotoc rolling the dice here earlier, or are they just going to try to draw them off sides, Bill?
We'll see.
Dixon back in at quarterback here for the Warriors. Barking signals left and right, trying to draw the defense off sides, and the Bulldogs very disciplined and stay on top of it here, and it's going to be timeout Pontotoc. It's going to be an interesting situation. Pontotoc was trying to draw them off sides, unable to do so, and now it looks like they're going to be brought into the game here, the punting unit here for the Warriors, and they're going to kick the ball away to Aberdeen.
Yeah, we had to figure that had to be trying to get them off sides. Been very risky to try to go for it on 4th and 3 that deep.
14, Jeb Milner into the ball game to punt the ball away for the Warriors, as Aberdeen doesn't look like they're going to send anybody back deep to try to field this punt. They don't expect him to kick it very far. It'd be good for an end-over-end kick, Reveal, with a good roll right here if you're a Warrior fan. Jeb Milner in. Good snap back. He having trouble with the football, and he's going to be taken down. And I think nerves just got him there, Bill. A great snap. That time he just couldn't get it going that time. And Aberdeen with a great job and a gift here. Ball on about the 17-yard line, and Pontotoc in dangerous territory right now as the Aberdeen Bulldogs in control right here early on in the first quarter. Play the first big play of the night in the favor of the blue and white of the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Now number 2 comes in. That's their quarterback, Desmond Jones, under center. Late substitution into the game is number 11 there. That's Ward. Barking signals left and right. They're going to run a little gill there, and boom. Nothing.
Nice job.
Very good pursuit that time by the Warriors. They might give him a yard that time. Very minimal gain as the Warriors do a great job as number 90 that time.
Bottom of the pile.
Montgomery that time on the bottom of the pile for the Warriors, but good upfield pursuit there by the white jerseys.
Yeah, by that time, number 90, Montgomery, great job as pursuit, as you said, and just wrapped him up. Line of scrimmage.
Jones under center. 2 receivers to the right, lone back in the backfield, 1 receiver to the top of the screen. It's going to be 1 to ball carrier again. This time he's trying to get outside. A little bit more room there to the top. That time is number 9. Looks like he's the first man there. That's Reggie Dixon there for the Warriors. Up into him there on the top of the screen, and it's going to be a pickup that time of some 6 yards, it looks like. And it's going to be 3rd and a long 4, short 5, however you want to look at it here for Aberdeen. Big play here for both teams in the early going. Pontotoc would like to make them go for it here on 4th down. It's going to be 1 to ball carrier again. He's into the clear. He's running hard. He's going toward the end zone. And a good-looking run that time by the running back, Victor Hodges. We heard a whole lot about him before we got here. That's the first good run of the night we've seen by him. At that time, Bill, they didn't wrap him up at the line of scrimmage, and we see how effective he is once he gets into the clear. And that time he just carried the white jerseys all the way down to what appears to be about the 2-yard line, where it'll be 1st and goal to go from about the 2.
Well, look to call Hodges' number tonight. He's going to be the man on offense, no doubt about it. Number 1, you saw the speed.
Trips to the right. Jones, the ball carrier. He's leaning toward the end zone. He's into the end zone. Desmond Jones, the quarterback, into the end zone, and the Bulldogs take the gift by the Warriors and cash in, Bill, for 6 quick points. And with 8 minutes and 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter play, the Aberdeen Bulldogs 6, Pontotoc nothing, awaiting the extra point out of the try of number 30. That looks like that's going to be Matthew Stralinger. The snapback's a good one. The kick is up, and it is good. So the new score with 8 minutes, 34 seconds remaining here in the first quarter action from Aberdeen. It's the Bulldogs of Aberdeen 7, Pontotoc 0.
Well, you know, just a mistake there by special teams, and Pontotoc has to pay dearly for it, as Aberdeen able to cash in as the snap was mishandled, and the special teams mistake going to cost Pontotoc a touchdown. And the Bulldogs of Aberdeen, the first ones to get on the scoreboard here tonight, as we get a look at the as Hodges that time as he gets a run. He doesn't get the touchdown, but you see the speed that he has. He's going to be something to contend with here tonight. So a very, very balanced attack there. Of course, Bulldogs didn't have to drive very far to get to pay dirt, but we'll see right here if Pontotoc can get a big return.
Pontotoc needs to come up with an answer to this scoring drive, but they did give Aberdeen a very, very short field after the missed kick by the punter Milner. And now Pontotoc finds themselves trailing 7-0 to the Aberdeen Bulldogs. And Bill, when you're on the road in a game like this, you don't want to get behind early and try to play catch up. So Pontotoc would like nothing better to answer this scoring drive here by the Bulldogs.
Well, they got Creighton's back deep. See if they can field the football here and get a good return.
Aberdeen with the momentum right here. It's going to be a short kick, and Pontotoc having trouble with it again. Shaq Creighton, he better get on that football. Wow. Now they're going to have trouble getting out of the hole once again. Now they're going to find themselves somewhere in the neighborhood of about the 8-yard line starting this possession. And Pontotoc just having kind of trouble with the football right now, Bill. They just can't hold on to it.
Yeah, special teams not doing them any favors here tonight, as they're having to start deep with their backs against their own end zone, and that makes for a tough field. Long way to go here for pay dirt for the Pontotoc Warriors. And as we said, the mistakes have been really on special teams here so far.
Dixon out of the shotgun formation one, still in at quarterback. He's coming here to the near side of the football field, and look at that speed. 23, the first man there for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. That's Harrison, and Harrison with a good-looking defensive play that time for the Bulldogs. And Rashad Dixon just know where to go with the football. Actually going to lose about 2 yards there on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 12. Ball resting somewhere in the neighborhood of about the, the 11-yard line now?
Yeah, around the 11-yard line. And Dixon back in. They're going to rotate Dixon and Reed, looks like, here early on.
Dixon with an eye backfield behind him, one receiver to the top and bottom of the screen. That time looked like it might have been a little bit early coming across the football, but they're just teeing off and coming right up the football field. And very little resistance is number 57, the first man there that time, looked like, for the Bulldogs. And that's going to be Gatherings. Gatherings, the first man there for the Bulldogs that time. And I tell you what, Pontotoc's just not having very much luck at all. Aberdeen's just coming straight up the field. It looked like they might have jumped the snap count that time, but man, they were there quick.
Number 11 in the vicinity, too. We know a lot about Channing Ward.
Yeah, that's the big man.
We'll talk about him here in a few minutes, but you talking about a good-looking football player right there on the line.
Elsie was there, lost his footing just a little bit though. Had an overload over here on the bottom of the screen that time, Bill. Had numbers over here, but they couldn't get the ball. They were trying to get the ball out here to Elsie, but incomplete pass, and Pontotoc in trouble right here, Bill. They've had trouble with the punting game already tonight. This time he's going to be punting out near the end zone this time, actually going to be about a yard so deep in the end zone. So this time Milner's got to catch the football and punt it out of there.
Yeah, a lot of pressure being applied to Milner here tonight early in this ball game.
Snap back. Oh! Milner luckily got that one, and he's going to get a roll this time. And it's going to be somewhere around the 48-yard line back in Aberdeen territory, and a great kick, Bill, that time. He kicked it out of the end zone.
Yeah.
Got it to the 48-yard line on the other end of the field. And that time Milner had all kind of pressure on him once again, but able to get it away and got a beautiful roll after the kick hit the ground. And luckily for the Warriors this time, they got to go 52 yards to pay dirt.
You take a look at number 11 there, Channing.
I tell you what, man, he's a big man, Channing Ward.
Talked about him early on before the game here tonight with some of the guys up here. Heavily being looked at as a junior. So should you say any more?
A lot of shifting around here by the Aberdeen Bulldogs. 24 on the little end around. Pontotoc's got trouble with the upfield pursuit. He's going off to the races. At 24, that time, Brandon Smith took the ball and just went straight up the field, Bill. And Pontotoc looks like they're come out a little flat here tonight, and Aberdeen coming out with some fresh legs and are really running the football effectively right now.
Yeah, Pontotoc looks out of sync on both sides of the football. They ain't got anything going offensively yet to pick up a first down. That time just letting Aberdeen out of the gate just wide open. You think they'd be keying on Hodges, but that time number 24, the ball carrier, and Aberdeen's going to throw quite a few things at him here as you see number 24 getting lined up again here.
Number 2, Desmond Jones, the quarterback. We've already seen him score 1 touchdown here tonight. He's got 4 receivers set here. He's going to be 24, the ball carrier again.
Ooh.
That time, number 90 made him think twice, but he couldn't bring him down.
Gracious.
Still breaking tackles and going to the far sideline that time, and he's going to be upended on the top of the screen that time. But that time Montgomery had him in the backfield once again, Bill, but just couldn't bring him to the ground. A good-looking run that time once again by number 24, Brandon Smith of the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and he picked up about 8 yards that time, and he's going to be up near looks like about the 20-yard line before he's tackled over there, and it's going to be a second down and short situation here for Aberdeen, and 24 running his heart out here in this early on in this first quarter.
You got to make those plays in the backfield. Pontotoc had 2 shots at him that time, and Dixon had to run him out of bounds.
Jones out of the shotgun formation here for Aberdeen once again. He's going to call his own number now, going to pitch it out. And Hodges is going to gain only about a yard that time, tripped up along the way by number 5, the first man there, and that's Michael Walters. And that's going to be a gain of only about 1. It's going to be a third down short situation, it looks like here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Ball just across the 20-yard line to about the 19-yard line. Third down, about 1 to go.
Keep an eye on number 32 for Pontotoc. Westbrook, another youngster that I really like to see play. He was in the vicinity that time as well. A lot of speed. He gets around the football.
We called his name along with Anthony Peters, 12, a lot for the Warriors last Friday night.
Right.
Hadn't seen much out of them here in the early going. To be a big time right here for one of them to show up and hold Aberdeen. They did call for the change from across the way to come across the field, though.
He's shy. A little bit short.
So it is going to be third down, and about the length of football, maybe just a little bit more than that to go here for the first down. But the Pontotoc Warriors need to come up with a stop right here.
You know, Desmond Jones for Aberdeen averaging 62.5 yards rushing per game, and he's averaging 73 yards passing per game. So he's balancing it out pretty good.
Here we go, out of the shotgun formation, twin receivers to the top of the screen, 1 man in the backfield. That is Hodges with Aberdeen, and that's going to be a heat timeout. With a timeout on the field, we're going to take a timeout with them. Be back here at Aberdeen in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Back to first quarter action here at Aberdeen, Mississippi. Mike Campbell, Bill Morgan, proud to bring you the high school game of the week here on your local sports connection. Aberdeen with third and short now, bobble snap. Pontotoc got a chance right here. Let's see if they can bottle him up. And they do it back on the 25-yard line, and it's going to be a fourth down and going to be about a fourth down and 5 or 6 yards to go, Bill, and that's going to be a whole lot taller mountain for Aberdeen to climb than it would have been if they would have come up with a bobble snap right at the line of scrimmage. So this time Aberdeen's going to be forced to make a decision here from the 25-yard line, and they're going to go for it as we were sure they would.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a little bit steeper hill to climb if you're an Aberdeen Bulldog fan right here. Pontotoc needs some good upfield pursuit right here. Let's see exactly what happens here on this 4th down attempt right here. It's going to be Jones coming toward the near side of the football field. He's not going to do it. Pontotoc with good pursuit. Look who it was. There's 12 Peters. I told you it'd be a good time for one of them to show up. And that time, Peters able to bring him down here on the near side of the football field. And the sophomore comes up with a big play there, number 12, Peters. We talked about him in the early going. He was big a week ago. Anthony Peters comes up with a big play here on 4th down, get the ball back for the Warrior offense.
Well, right now, that's been the biggest play of the night for Pontotoc. Peters that time with a stop. And he came in last week, as we said, we called his name quite a bit, a very talented youngster here for the Warriors. And no bigger play tonight than what he just made right there. Huge play for Pontotoc.
7-0 your score. Aberdeen clinging to that 7-point advantage after a bobble punt. Got them great field position. They were able to cash in early here in this first quarter. Now Pontotoc with a fumble, and the ball's on the ground. And Aberdeen gets the ball right back, Bill.
Unbelievable.
Pontotoc just out of sync on every aspect of the football team tonight. But now a bobble snap and shoot. Pontotoc gives the ball right back to the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and the blue and white in business here once again. Be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from the Warrior 22-yard line.
You know, last week, of course, Reed was the man at quarterback, but this week we're seeing Dixon, number 1, in. So there's a switch up there, but they're having trouble at that spot right now. Bad mishandling of the football. Aberdeen's had a short field the whole first quarter.
Playing on Pontotoc's end of the field. Desmond Jones, 2 in and back in at quarterback. 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. Lone back in the backfield is Hodges. Jones dropping straight back. He's under heavy pressure, and there's the big man. Look at that catch.
Yeah.
He took 2 or 3 hits, stayed on his route, come up with a big catch. There he is, Channing Ward, the fine junior here for Aberdeen. As we talked about, Bill, he's heavily recruited, and we see some pretty good hands right there. He had the ball momentarily, took 2 big hits from the back, kept his concentration, able to bring the ball in, and a big pickup there now. It's going to be 2nd and short. 2nd and about 2 here for Aberdeen.
Yeah, nice looking job there, having to hang on to the ball, double covered. Ward able to hang on to the football, and a huge big heads up play there by the offense for Aberdeen.
2, Jones dropped back in shotgun formation, but flags and whistles blow here before the play could get started. And it looks like somebody may have lined up offsides. And that is true, and it's going to be the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and they're going to move them back. And it's going to be a 2nd down and about 6 or 7 situation now here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Pontotoc got to come up with some answers here. They've come out, as we mentioned, a little rusty out of the gate here tonight. Looks like a lot of nerves, not knowing exactly what's going on here. But Pontotoc is in all disarray here. Need to come up with a big defensive stop here. Hodges going to be brought down there. The first man there on the bottom of the pile looks like number 6 for Pontotoc. That's Ladarius Vaughn. And also there on the play is number 9, Reggie Dixon there for the Warriors. And it's going to be a 3rd down and about 5 situation here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Pontotoc needs to come up with a stop right here, Bill.
Vaughn with good pressure that time, as well as number 4, Berry, in the backfield immediately. They applied the pressure there initially on the offensive player.
Desmond Jones out of the quarterback position, drops straight back. He's going to the top of the screen, and he got a man there in the area.
Wow.
Good looking pass and catch at the time, and that looks like Michael Hodges, number 80, the one that caught that ball. So we see a little bit of pitch and catch this time between the quarterback, Desmond Jones, and number 80, Michael Hodges, and that's going to be another 1st down pickup for Aberdeen. And Bill, Pontotoc still just real sluggish.
Yeah, Hodges that time just went up and got the football. Really good receivers so far. They're showing their ability here early on in the ball game, as Michael Hodges that time with a good catch.
Aberdeen going to get set here on first and gold here. From the upper hash mark, got an eye backfield behind him this time, and it's going to be 1 the ball carrier, and a good hard run Pontotoc does a pretty good job of bringing him down there on the top of the screen. Looks like number 9 coming off the bottom of the pack again. That's Reggie Dixon there for Pontotoc. Dixon's been a bright spot here for the Warriors if there's been one here in this first quarter of play. But the Aberdeen Bulldogs just keep chipping away, getting closer to the end zone. And it looks like now, Bill, they're inside the 5-yard line here with second down.
Yeah, big opportunity here. Aberdeen can go up 2 touchdowns. They can cross over here. An excellent opportunity for the Bulldogs off of another Warrior mistake. Turnover.
On Victor Hodges, the ball carrier again. He's going to be lunging forward, getting closer and closer to that magical goal line. And it's going to be a third down situation. Looks like maybe about a yard and a half to go for the end zone here, and Pontotoc's got to come up with some answers right here as Aberdeen's just running the football right at them, and they can't come up with a stop right here. Victor Hodges is probably going to get the football here again, if I had to guess, and it's going to be hard to keep him out of the end zone, but don't take your eyes off number 2. He's liable to bootleg it around this end out here, too. Right up the middle, untouched, is number 1, Victor Hodges. And Pontotoc, Bill, I'm just not real sure exactly what's going on right now, but they're just totally out of sync. I know that sounds like a broken record. I've said that 10 times in the last 5 minutes, but Pontotoc just reeling for answers right here. They look like a totally different team than we saw in the Hollow a week ago.
Yeah, no discrediting Aberdeen. I mean, but Pontotoc has given them excellent, just easy opportunities here tonight, and Aberdeen has capitalized on it. Warriors really not in sync. They're having all kind of trouble here early on. As you said, what a difference a week makes. Last week, a totally different looking football team, as they were so balanced on both sides of the football. But right now, they're just completely out of sync. And they're, like you said, Aberdeen's started pretty much on the Pontotoc 35 or 20, 25-yard line.
You're exactly right.
They got 2 touchdowns. So the Bulldogs doing what they got to do. They're capitalizing on turnovers, and they got a 13-0 lead right now. Warriors going to have to find a way to hang on to the football, and I tell you, really need to find a way to get a big special teams play. They've made some early mistakes on special teams, not able to hold on to the football, and just looks like right now they're just completely out of rhythm here on the road.
The only thing that hadn't gone the Aberdeen Bulldogs' way is a missed extra point right there. The new score here, with 2 minutes and 1 second remaining here in the first quarter play, is the Aberdeen Bulldogs 13, the Pontotoc Warriors nothing. Pontotoc getting set to receive this kickoff as we see number 2, Randall Creighton in the middle, as number 6, Ladarius Vaughn on the top of the screen, and looks like maybe number 1, Rashad Dixon back to try to corral this football, but Pontotoc got to catch the football and come forward with it. The first thing they got to do is get the football firmly in their hands and then decide what to do with it. Pontotoc just has not been able to corral that football and hold on to it here in this first quarter.
Coming to Dixon.
Rashad Dixon trying to find running room. He's running side to side, though. And Aberdeen with too much speed, and he's going to be upended on about the 35-yard line. So Pontotoc finally got a little bit of room to work with here, Bill, and it'll be interesting to see if they stick with Dixon at quarterback or if they go back to number 7, Marcus Reed, who had the success a week ago, and it looks like they're going to stick with Dixon. Not exactly sure there what Dampier's reason for this is, but well, I did understand, talking to some people during the week, that Rashad Dixon was going to be the quarterback here tonight, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Get back over here. You're not supposed to come under that fence. Get back over there.
But there's going to be a timeout on the field, and we'll take a quick timeout with them. Be back here at Aberdeen in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back here to action from Aberdeen as we see the Warriors in offense now. They got number 7 back in there. He's going up top, and that time Creighton just quit running his pattern that time. I mean, Dixon has been in at quarterback. Marcus Reed now in at quarterback. He threw the ball in the vicinity of number 2, Randall Creighton, but Creighton that time he had 2 blue jerseys around him, but he just stopped before he ever got to the football that time. It fell incomplete. And you really can't discredit Marcus Reed on that pass because
No.
that's just one of those passes you got to put out there and let the receiver run to it. And that time Creighton just pulled up a little bit short of the pass. This time it's going to be Reed going to drop straight back. He's under heavy pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Loss on the play of about 5 yards back on the 30-yard line. It's going to be third down. It's number 1-1.
1-1.
Channing Ward back there causing havoc in the backfield. And I tell you what, number 71 for Pontotoc, Tyler Ash, has got his hands full with that big man tonight.
Yeah, they said three men can't hardly guard him, and he's showing tonight why he's getting all this attention from the college level.
3 receivers here to the near side. They got a mismatch over here if they could get the ball out here.
Wow.
Reed throwing the ball in the vicinity of number 3, Shaq Creighton, but falling incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down and 15 facing the Warriors. Pontotoc's going to have to punt the football back here to Aberdeen. Just nothing positive once again, Bill.
Correct me if I'm wrong. No first down by Pontotoc yet
No.
here tonight. Yet to pick up a first down.
Tell you what, man, Pontotoc is reeling for answers right now. In the worst of ways is number 14, Jeb Milner, back in to punt the football away here to the Aberdeen Bulldogs. And Aberdeen is really in control of this football game here, leading 13-0. And we still have 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of play. 14, Jeb Milner receives the snap back and the kick, and it's a good one. And it's going to take a Warrior bounce once again and going to be blown dead on about the 33-yard line.
Well, this will be the worst starting position for Aberdeen tonight, I believe.
You're exactly right.
Right. We're not even used to being on the left side of the field, but now if you're the defense for the Warriors, you got to come through. You're only down 13 points. It's early in the game. You got to play ball. You got to come through here, and you got to look for some key plays by some of you guys here tonight because the offense right now really sputtering. Let's see what they can do with the defense.
This will tell a lot about your team right here, Bill.
Right.
If you can come back in a situation like this, it's early on in the ball game, like you said. There's a lot of time to play, but you got to start right now coming back. The snapback's a good one, and it's going to be number 12, Peters, right there. Peters and a host of white jerseys right there on top of it. Number 90 coming off the bottom of the pile once again, Montgomery. The nose tackle for the Warriors, Montgomery and Peters, the two there to cause the disruption that time. That's going to be a loss back to the 29-yard line. And there's the start to what we were talking about, Bill. There's something to build on right there. Let's see if Pontotoc can keep it going right here. They've got to have some upfield pursuit. They've got to get after the football right here.
Well, anything positive gives your team momentum. That's a positive play right there by Peters.
Out of the shotgun formation, Jones. He's going to give it to number 1. Here he comes, straight up the middle. And a big pickup right there, Bill, and they let him out of the bag that time. Victor Hodges with a big run down into Warrior territory to about the 48-yard line, and a flag flies, and a lot of jawing going on down the field. Looks like number 52, the man doing most of that right now. That's Brandon Hodges. They got a bunch of Hodges on this team. And there's another Hodges doing the talk down the field, number 52, and that's probably going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Aberdeen Bulldogs for extracurricular activity.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the worst ones if you're a coach to see after you pick up the big, huge play and get it taken away by just some unnecessary action there, if that's what holds true, what we're talking about. Hodges that time in on a little extracurriculars you were talking about. Very competitive out there tonight, and motion's pretty high, of course, both sides of the football.
They're going to mark it back from the original line of scrimmage. I thought that was after the play, but
wow,
they're marking it from the original line of scrimmage back 15 yards, and that's going to back them all the way up to the 37-yard line in Bulldog territory. So that's going to be even bigger than ever right there, Bill. It's going to be a repeat of first down by the Bulldogs, but that was from the original line of scrimmage, 15 yards. So number 52 that time for the Bulldogs, Brandon Hodges, got a little out of control that time, and it cost them big yardage.
Well, right now, Warriors got to find a way to control Hodges, the running back, Victor Hodges. A lot of Hodges, as we was talking about, but right now they've had no answer for him. He's a small kid, but extremely a lot of speed, and he runs hard. He runs hard, as you see. It usually takes more one tackler to bring him down, even though he's a small kid.
This Aberdeen team, Bill, is known through the years for producing a bunch of good running athletes, and there we've seen it here tonight. As Jones scrambling to the top of the screen, he gets the ball away. Good coverage there, good pressure on the backside there by number 12, Peters, rushing and giving Desmond Jones some good pressure there off the backside that time, and throwing the ball out of bounds there across the way. A good decision that time by Desmond Jones, and it's going to bring up a second down situation here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. There's going to be a timeout on the field.
End of the quarter.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter. And after one's in the book, it's the Aberdeen Bulldogs 13, the Pontotoc Warriors nothing. Be back here at Aberdeen in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Aberdeen for the start of the second quarter here as the Aberdeen Bulldogs 13, Pontotoc nothing. And Pontotoc had him around the ankles again, let him out of the bag once again. And it's going to be a big pickup. And there's a Warrior a little bit shaken up there on the play, getting slow up off the ground that time. Looked like number 28 for Pontotoc. That's Cummings coming slowly off the ground that time. He's going to go to the sideline and get everything checked out that time. It looked like 8 Gilliard comes in here on the corner to give him a breather there after he was shaken up momentarily. Now third down possession play here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs from their own 45-yard line. And Aberdeen asked for and received a timeout. Didn't like something they saw there, maybe didn't have the right personnel into the game, and they asked for and received a timeout. We're going to hold it right here, Bill.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Pontotoc, I think, would need the timeout about as much as Aberdeen does. Just get their composure here. Right now, as we're talking about, this is the time that the defense for the Warriors has got to step up. And, of course, by the penalty has helped Pontotoc on this because they let Hodges loose there on that huge play. And Aberdeen with excellent field position, but the penalty took it back. So, anyway,
going to be
Warriors right here defensively going to have to step it up a notch.
You're exactly right.
We would like to take this time to be sure and thank all of our fine businesses in the area bringing you the action here each and every week on high school football on W07BN, TV7, and Cable Channel 98, MetroCast. Be sure and visit the website, W07BN.com. You can go back through the years, the archives of a lot of different football games from years past. Be sure and go online and visit the website, W07BN.com. And go back and check out some of the games from the past as we get set for football. Just underway here in the second quarter, 11:22 to go here in the first half of action. Warriors still unable to answer with any points.
Aberdeen with a third down and possession play here facing them, but there comes another big first down coming their way as number 32 Westbrooks, one of the men in white, finally to bring him down, but not before he gets into Pontotoc territory, picking up another first down for the blue and white of the Aberdeen Bulldogs.
I tell you, when have you seen a small guy that's that good a runner? That's strong.
He's tough.
Man, he's tough. You know, one guy don't hardly bring him down. Good-looking runner.
Victor Hodges has done a great job of carrying the football here tonight. Pontotoc finds ourselves now with the Bulldogs in their territory once again. And there he goes right up the middle once again. He's picking up big yards. Looked like nothing there once again. But all good runners fall forward with the football. And that time, number 6, able to bring him to the ground that time. Ladarius Vaughn, the first man in white, off the bottom of the stack there for the Warriors once again. But a lot of white jerseys around the ball, Bill, but they just can't bring them down on that initial hit.
He's really slippery and elusive as a runner, and he runs strong and plus speed. I mean, you combine all that together, and you got a talent there. Number 1, Hodges, who is, again, coming in the game averaging 136 yards on the ground.
Jones under center with a high backfield behind him, and it's going to be the ball carrier here once again, Victor Hodge, and he's taking men down the field, and number 9 and number 8 combined that time for the Warriors. That's Reggie Dixon and Shaq Gilliard, the two that finally bring him down, but not before he picks up first down yardage all the way down to the 33-yard line in Warrior territory, Bill, and Pontotoc letting the Bulldogs slip on down the field once again. They got to come up with some answers right here.
Yeah, the defense, you can tell for Pontotoc, just reeling for answers right now. They know they're keying in on Hodges, but yet you got to keep your eye on Jones because, like we said, averaging 73 passing yards a game and 62 yards rushing. So you can't keep your eye, you can't look off from him either.
Jones under center, still out of the eye backfield. It's going to be one, the ball carrier. He's going straight up the middle that time. And number 90 with a little bit of pop to him that time, not giving him a whole lot of positive yardage that time. And that's Montgomery. Devontae Montgomery has been active there from his nose guard position here tonight for the Warrior defense. Comes up with another big play right there. Very minimal gain that time. Good play by number 90 from the nose guard position once again for the Warriors.
Yeah, Montgomery moving well here tonight. We've called his number quite a bit. He's been very active in the backfield for Aberdeen. Another nice job there by big number 90.
And whistles blow, flag fly once again here. Somebody must have lined up over the football here once again. And this time the blue and white are clapping, so it must have been Pontotoc lined up in the neutral zone that time, and that's what it's going to be. And that's going to give Aberdeen 5 yards. Pontotoc doesn't want to give any more gifts here in this ballgame, Bill. They've been very, very frequent to give gifts in this first half of action, and Aberdeen has cashed in with 13 points already in this first half. Jones under center here. Got the eye backfield behind him, and it's going to be Jones trying to look up the field this time. He's got 10 receiving this catch, and there it is, Bill. You rock them to sleep with that little running game and then slip it out of there, and Justin Lucius is up the field, and it's going to be a big, big play that time by Aberdeen. It's going to be another Aberdeen first down, Bill, and the Aberdeen Bulldogs are marching closer to pay dirt right here.
Well, Lucius that time, there was some coverage by the Warriors, but Lucius athletic, able to shake a couple of tackles, pick up another, 6 or 7 yards after the catch, and that's what you want if you're Aberdeen. Get your receivers open in the field, kind of rock them to sleep with the running game, and that time they open it up with the passing game. I tell you, Jones, pretty versatile. He's able to really move well on his feet. He can find receivers or he can run the football, and that makes him a pretty big threat here.
Ball on about the 11-yard line, so they will be able to pick up first down yardage, and it's going to be the fullback this time running the football, and there's some fresh legs. Nope, that's one that time. I thought it was going to be, I thought it was somebody else slipping through there that time, but it was Hodge, where once again, and Victor Hodge into the end zone, and Pontotoc just ain't got any answers, Bill. They're playing on their heels, and they're not coming in and attacking, and like you said, we know who's going to get the football majority of the time, but Pontotoc just can't find a way to stop him right now. Victor Hodge, a very, very effective runner here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs.
Yeah, right now they're just not playing Pontotoc Warrior football. I mean, you know, they played different football last week. Of course, we know they're playing a tough opponent, but right now they're just not playing the football they're capable of playing, I don't think, here early in the game.
Looks like Aberdeen's going to elect to go for 2 right here, and it's going to be 1 to ball carrier, and that time a lot better pursuit of the field as number 6, Ladarius Vaughn 6, and number 90, Devontae Montgomery have both played good ball games for Pontotoc, but they find themselves trailing in this contest 19-0.
As you take a look at the Aberdeen cheerleaders here on the near side, a nice night out here for football. Forecast predicting some 58 or 59 degree for the low tonight in the soup. That's getting to be our kind of weather, especially for football season. And nice breeze blowing here tonight in Aberdeen. Had some rain over here. We saw the water as we drove up. But field, let's comment on the field. Nice looking field here tonight. Looks real good. Drains well, evidently, dry. And just a perfect night for football. Tomorrow will be a great day for college football. The college season really kicks off tomorrow. And I think the high's like 83, man. You couldn't ask for a better day than that.
Going to be a very nice weekend here in North Mississippi, and the Aberdeen Bulldogs are putting on a show so far here tonight. And it's Pontotoc. They've got to figure out a way to get out of the gate, Bill. They've already spotted them 19 points, but it'd be a good time to see Pontotoc get in the scoring column right here on this drive, get back in this contest.
Yeah, Dixon, Creighton won. Somebody's going to have to make some plays.
Somebody's got to come to the show.
Absolutely. Somebody's going to show up, and I mean show up soon with 8:48 to go in the first half.
Aberdeen sets the ball on the tee, which they've done several times to kick off to Pontotoc tonight, and the kick's going to come forward. It's going to find Randall Creighton. Creighton falls down, catching the football, falls down on about the 27-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Pontotoc from that point. But there again, Bill, a breakdown in the return game there for the Warriors. Creighton looked like he had some green grass up the middle to try to run, but that time tripped over his own man and going to find the 27-yard line where they're going to go 1st and 10 Warriors from that point.
Reed back in the ball game. Let's see if he tries to do some of these little short passes. 5
receivers set now for the Warriors, and looks like they broke huddle with too many men that time as Creighton ran off the field. And it's going to be a substitution violation against Pontotoc, and broke the huddle with 12 men. And man, oh man, Pontotoc, I don't know, Bill. It's hard to understand exactly what's going on right now.
Right now, I think they've just kind of lost their composure, trying to get their composure here. You know, a couple of good positive plays would help with that.
Wow, wow, wow. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woo! 23.
A train wreck in the backfield led by number 23 that time. That's Johnny McMillan. And a big, big loss there on the play all the way back to the 9-yard line. And the Warriors are going in the wrong direction, Bill. They started out on the 27, now they're on the 9. 2nd down and a mile from their own 9-yard line. And Aberdeen just teeing off. I mean, they're running the football, playing football right now, and Pontotoc just hadn't got any answers. And Pontotoc with a lot of disruption, not knowing what's going on, and they could ask for and receive timeout. With a timeout on the field, we're going to take a timeout with them. Be back here at Aberdeen in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back as Pontotoc finds themselves 2nd down and a mile from their own 9-yard line after the loss. That time the ball in the air a long time off the fingertips there of Dixon. And number 4 had a real shot at that football. That's Blanchard. Had a shot at that football there for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. And Bill, if you miss a football, you don't want to tip it up in the air like that with some real athletes like they have here for Aberdeen. And now 3rd down and a mile. Big play here by Aberdeen.
I hadn't seen anybody for Pontotoc that wants to catch the football. Have you?
No, I really hadn't either. Nobody at Pontotoc really wanting to act like they want to play football so far here in this contest. Marcus Reed out of the shotgun, drops straight back. He's going for the home run. He looks like it was some jerking and pulling there on the arm that time, but that time Randall Creighton just couldn't outrun the defense, and it's going to be a 4th down situation, and Pontotoc going to be forced to punt the ball out of the end zone once again.
Well, digging themselves deeper in a hole. This is a game, of course, last year the Warriors won 24-14 at home, but a very different looking situation right here tonight. Here in the first half of play, Aberdeen in total control in a series that's been won 2 of the past 3 games by Pontotoc.
Jeb Milder, 14 into the ball game to punt the football away again for Pontotoc. That time he did a lot better job of just punching the ball forward, and it's going to take another Pontotoc roll. And it's going to be down on about the 42-yard line, still in Pontotoc territory, Bill, but that's better than giving them the ball down on about the 9 where they had to punt from. So Pontotoc still with their backs against the wall as Aberdeen in full control of this ball game right here in the 2nd quarter, leading 19-0 here over the Warriors.
You know, as we talked about, Aberdeen not really doing anything fancy. They're just running the football. They're running the football, just playing smash mouth football right at them, and they're just turning number 1 Hodges loose. And Pontotoc with no answers right now for Victor Hodges.
And just when you think it's going to be all Hodges, then Jones will roll out, throw a little pass, and he's been very true on all those passes he's thrown so far in this first half also. Jones having a little trouble with the football here. A lot of pressure from the backside. This time Pontotoc with good upfield pursuit, and they're going to corral the Bulldogs for a loss there of some 4 or 5 yards there on the play. Ball going to be back to the 46-yard line.
Number 32, Westbrook, in on that stop. Once again, very quick in the backfield there, number 32. We've called his name here tonight. Doing a great job there on the defensive side.
Good job that time by Warriors upfield pursuit. That time a little bit of mishandling of the football there by number 2, Desmond Jones, giving Pontotoc just that needed time to get back there in that backfield. Now Jones out of the shotgun. We've got three receivers at the top of the screen. Jones calling his own number. He's going to get back to about the original line of scrimmage, and that's all. Maybe just a little bit forward of the original line of scrimmage that time. Nonetheless, it's going to be a third down and 10 situation here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs from the Warrior 43-yard line.
Marcus Berry that time just wrapping up Jones and preventing the big play from happening. Good job, good tackle that time by number 4 for the Warriors.
Aberdeen finds herself in third down and long situation, something they're not accustomed to. Looked like there was some movement there along the line, no flags, and he's throwing the football down the field, and that time off the fingertips there of number 8 of the Aberdeen Bulldogs. That's Jalen Duvall, and he's going to drop the football and going to be a punting situation maybe here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. We haven't seen this all night by Aberdeen, but it looks like they're going to have to punt the football away. Going to try to play field position football here till halftime with Pontotoc. Pontotoc has had very, very little success offensively. Be a good idea leading 19-0 to go ahead and punt the ball away, try to pin Pontotoc deep.
Well, if Jones hangs on to that football, it's a crushing blow for the Warriors because that gives Aberdeen an excellent scoring opportunity. Out there, good secondary by the Warriors. Pontotoc must come up with some answers here.
30 in to do the kicking. He kicks the ball straight up. They're actually going to gain yardage.
They gain yardage.
Gain yardage off a punt.
Gain yardage. See that?
Gain yardage. They go have the ball on about the 47-yard line. Kicked it from the 42. Gained 5 yards there on a punt,
hey,
Bill.
Hey,
never touched the football. And gained 5 yards.
That would have been my punt right there.
Maybe that's what you need to do. You can tell the Aberdeen's not accustomed to having to punt the football away very much.
If you want to mark a play, there's one to mark for the highlight show. No, that's right. That's right. No, evidently, as you said, not used to having to punt the football. How many times have we seen them punt the football tonight?
Unbelievable.
Now we may know why.
Number 1, Rashad Dixon back in at quarterback. It looks like this year. Pontotoc hadn't got very much going. They bring in big number 90 in at fullback this time. He's leading the way and nowhere to go with the football as number 23 with another big tackle that time. That's Johnny McMillan from his linebacker position. And it's going to be no gain there on the play, and it's going to be a timeout on the field here. It looks like he's going to actually lose about a yard back to the 46-yard line. Heat timeout here on the field. We're going to take a timeout with them. Be back here with the last 5 minutes, 47 seconds of the first half in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the high school game of the week here on your local Sports Connection. Mike Campbell, Bill Morgan, proud to bring you the game of the week here on your local cable connection. And it's going to be the Warriors with a second down and long situation here as they're going to run the ball straight up the middle and find the midfield stripe before he's brought down. And number 11 coming off the bottom of the pile there once again, that's Channing Ward, as looks like the Warriors are going to have a third down and situation right from the midfield stripe that time. Number 2, the ball carrier that time for the Warriors, that's Randall Creighton.
And to tell you what kind of night it's been for Pontotoc, Creighton that time, that's one of the longest offensive plays of the night so far by the offense.
Gain of about 4.5 that time.
That's right. Positive yardage, but that's been a rare thing here in the first half for Pontotoc.
Right from the midfield stripe, third down possession play here facing the Warriors. It's going to be Dixon out of the quarterback position. He better get rid of the football going in the wrong direction. He got a man wide open. He missed the ball.
Wow.
Maurice Berry was right there, put it right in his hands. Great job of Dixon just to get rid of the football, and Maurice Berry was standing wide open on about the 45-yard line. Would have been very close to a first down if he had caught the ball because there wasn't anybody around him. He would have had first down yardage, but Berry unable to bring the ball in that time, and I think Berry even got surprised that Dixon was able to get rid of that football. Great upfield pursuit that time once again by the Bulldogs, and now here comes 14, Jeb Milner. He's been a very, very active kid on the field tonight. He's had to punt the football a lot for the Warriors.
Absolutely. No time for Dixon that time. There's been no time at all for Dixon at the quarterback spot.
Milner with another good kick. He's going to find the arms of the Aberdeen Bulldogs on about the 18-yard line. He's coming to the near side of the football field in 13. And there comes a flag flying in. It's 22 that time, came over the top with a little bit of a late hit, and that's Lawrence Rakestraw. And they're going to get about 15 more from the Pontotoc Warriors by another gift. tackled him on about the 29-yard line, but it's going to be more yards on the end of it that time by the Warriors. They called him for a face mask. And that's going to give Aberdeen even more positive yardage. And that's not what you want to do if you're the Warriors. Trading in the contest 19-0 with a lot of problems here tonight. You don't want to give them any more free yardage, and that's exactly what the Warriors have done this time, a face mask.
You know, the defensive line for Aberdeen has just dominated the offensive line for Pontotoc.
You're exactly right.
Dixon, maybe because Dixon might be in, because there's no time to stand back to look to throw the ball. They're just killing the line. Aberdeen is blowing the offensive line away for the Warriors.
They're just coming straight upfield, Bill, and like you said, they have no resistance to them, and there's really no chance to get the wheels turning.
Lucas and Hodges in the backfield to give it to Hodges.
Hodges straight up the middle, and he's got about 11 or 12 more to his credit all the way to Warrior territory to the 45-yard line. And Jones just taking the ball, handing it to Victor Hodges, and he's running through Pontotoc here, and just really no answers. And Pontotoc, they're bringing new personnel into the contest here, trying to find somebody that they can somehow or another figure out how to bring him down. First and 10, Bulldogs from the Warrior 45-yard line after the first down run by Victor Hodges. It's going to be Jones rolling to the far side of the screen, and that's 10, recipient of the pass, and that time he runs over 2 or 3 Pontotoc Warriors, and going to be another huge pickup this time. The pitch and catch from Desmond Jones to Justin Lucas once again, Bill. And, man, Aberdeen's moving the football effectively here on this drive now on the 25-yard line. A pickup of some 20 yards there on that play.
It almost makes you wonder, did the Warriors watch the correct game film? Was it the right team they were looking at?
I'll tell you what, man.
Man.
The new twist to the offense by the Warriors has really not worked out, but Aberdeen just running straight at. Well, they lost the ball on the ground, and now Pontotoc looks like they recovered the football. Number 55 in the last 2 or 3 plays for the Warriors, and that's Drew Holloway, and Holloway gets the football there for Pontotoc. Good job by Drew Holloway coming in on that from that tackle position by the defensive on the Warriors and coming up with a fumble recovery that time.
Well, that'll stop the bleeding temporarily, as that's the first turnover you've got by Aberdeen, and Warriors now with an opportunity here with that fumble recovery, and a huge play there for Pontotoc just to get the offense for Aberdeen off the field. But no, totally ineffective has been the offense. Unless something changes, watch what happens with this defensive and offensive line here.
Pontotoc with more personnel problems, Bill. They had Shaq Creighton come in late off the sideline, tried to get into the play, and they just didn't have the right personnel, and they asked for him to receive a timeout, Bill. I'm not exactly sure what you say here, but Pontotoc just got to find a way to come up with some offense.
There's been way too much power on that defensive line, as the Warriors hadn't had time to get any plays together. As soon as Dixon spins around with the ball, he's got 3 blue jerseys in his face. So it's been just dominance here on the line of scrimmage tonight by Aberdeen. And Aberdeen finally kind of gives them a gift, fumbles the football. Warriors get it back, but it's a long field for a touchdown. Warriors trying to desperately get on the board here before halftime. But right now it looks they're on the way to being shut out here in the first half of play. 3:17 to go in the ball game. Looks like next week, I believe we're going to maybe see this Aberdeen team again, as we'll be in Amory for the A game. And we will be there to witness Aberdeen and Amory next week. And I don't know what kind of team Amory's got, but they better be ready to play when they face this Bulldog team. They look really good here tonight.
I understand Amory may be down just a little bit from the Amory of old. They got a new coach first year there at Amory this year, so it's going to be interesting. Pontotoc running out of the shotgun. Marcus Reed out of the shotgun. 2 backs there on both sides of him. Marcus Reed dropping straight back. He's going to try to get it to Maurice Berry. Berry catches the football, but he's upended right about the 25-yard line. Going to be a loss on the play that time, and good job out there. Looks like number 57 might have been the man there that time for the Bulldogs, and that's Jordan Gatherings.
Channing Ward, number 11, in on the tackle as well, as I saw him coming up off the turf. I tell you what, he is a specimen here tonight, only a junior, still got another year to go. And you watch his number, he's in just about around every play, every snap of the football.
Pontotoc, second down and about 12 situation here from their own 25-yard line. Marcus Reed rolling to the near side of the football field, and that's going to be a flag flying. As number 57, the man there. Once again, we just called his number play ago. That's Jordan Gatherings, and Gatherings was all over Marcus Reed. Marcus Reed was in the grass that time, tried to get rid of the football. Nobody in the area, and that's going to be intentional grounding, you'd have to think. And that's going to be loss of down also on that play, and that was from the 9-yard line.
You know, he's been able to
half the distance to the goal.
He's been able to dodge the bullet a little bit, but that time Reed not able to get the pass off. That time it comes to bite him, and he gets the intentional grounding. And I don't know what, Aberdeen might not be surprised up 19-0 against this 4A Pontotoc football team that's really kind of handled them in the past 3 series, but Aberdeen finds themselves with a 19-0 lead here, and so far it looks like nothing's going to change.
And I don't understand, you know, I mean, there's people every play coming in late to the huddle and everything else. They're just totally out of sync. It's like they doesn't really have a grasp on what's going on. Now we've Lee Dixon back in at quarterback. They run a little option play, and he's going to the near side of the far side of the football field. He's going to pick up positive yards, give Pontotoc a little bit of breathing room here to punt this football away. But it's really unbelievable how much Pontotoc has changed from last week to this week. And Aberdeen asked for and receives a timeout. With a timeout on the field, we're going to take a quick timeout with them. Be back here for the last 2 minutes before halftime in just a few moments. Welcome back to Aberdeen as we see 14, Jeb Milner once again in to punt the football away in this first half. He has been very, very active, and he's having trouble with the football here again. He's going to get his head tackle. Took off again by number 24 this time.
Unbelievable. And
that's Brandon Smith. And Milner's had trouble, but, man, they've done it so much. It looks like they'd be able to get the bugs worked out of it by now. But there, once again, Milner able to get the ball, but he's going to be dropped back on about the 9.5-yard line, inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal to go here for Aberdeen. Another gift by the Warriors.
You know, Milner's been a busy young man tonight. He's been on the field quite a bit, a lot more than you'd like to see him. Unbelievable.
Aberdeen with another free gift and another very, very short field here. What you want to say, Victor Hodges gets the football right here.
Possible.
And there he goes. He's down.
In there.
He's into the end zone again.
Yeah.
My.
No answer for Victor Hodges. We talked about him coming in. I think he's going to get his average tonight of 136 per game. And just no answer for Pontotoc for him.
He may have it in the first half, but he's been a very, very active young man here in this first half, and he's run the ball with some authority and done a good job. I wouldn't be scared to say we might not see him again right here on this two-point conversion try right here. Desmond Jones goes under center, eye backfield behind him. Dotting that eye is Victor Hodges. Jones looking to take it himself. He's falling forward. He's in there.
He got it. Fell on it and got the ball. Fell in the end zone. When it goes right, it goes right.
You're exactly right.
Everything's going right.
Number 2, Desmond Jones into the end zone, and your new score here with 1 minute and 56 seconds remaining before halftime. It's the Aberdeen Bulldogs 27, Pontotoc nothing, Bill. I'm not exactly sure what you do at halftime, but you better figure out what you're going to do and try to at least get some momentum going in your favor.
I was going to ask you, if you're Coach Napier, what do you tell your team right now?
I'm not exactly sure what you tell them. It's a whirlwind right here.
Things keep going, you tell them to plan for a quick exit out of town.
I tell you what, it just doesn't it doesn't seem to get any better for the Warriors.
Well, Pontotoc allowed them Aberdeen 49 points back in 2008 in a 49-32 Aberdeen win a couple of years back, and that was here. And right now, that's in jeopardy of being broken. 27-0 here in the first half.
I'm not too sure they're going to call off the dogs anytime soon either. I'm saying they're going to pour it on right here.
Yeah.
That deep receive. Number 2, Randall Curtin.
Pontotoc needs something positive right here. This time they're kicking the ball out of bounds. And Pontotoc doesn't have to return this one because it's kicked out of bounds. Not too sure. They might not make him re-kick.
Yeah, might get a shot at it. Maybe give Creighton or Dixon a shot at returning the football. Not going to get real good field position here.
But as much trouble as Pontotoc's had with the football tonight, you might just want to take it.
I want to just take the spot.
That's exactly right.
They're going to re-kick it.
You might want to take it on the 32-yard line.
They're going to re-kick it. They feel like they might get a good return. A lot of speed and athleticism. That's been the difference from last week to this week. One of them, they're facing a team that's got a whole lot of speed, strength, and a very good running back. And number 1, Victor Hodges, who, as you said, I'm sure is over the 100-yard mark already here in the first half of play.
You can see him right here on the near sideline right here. Him and Channing Ward talking right here. He's just not a very big kid at all, but, man, he's got some explosion and moves those legs, and he's got a lot of speed, and he's been way, way more than what the Pontotoc Warriors wanted here tonight at Aberdeen. Getting set to kick the ball off this time from the 35-yard line, coming forward on the football, and it's going to be a returnable kick here. Randall Creighton gets the football. He's coming forward. He's moving up the football field. He runs over Dixon. Dixon just standing there, not trying to block anybody, and he knocked him out of the way. And finally going to be tackled on the 39-yard line. But there again, Pontotoc more or less just standing around, not blocking anybody up the field. And Creighton had some steam going that time, and that time just ran right over the back of number 1, Rashad Dixon, who was just standing there, wasn't blocking anybody on the kickoff return.
But right now, Aberdeen is just taking them out of the football game right now. Pontotoc just not into the football game and trailing 27-0. They're going to find a way to make something positive happen. It would be unquestionably big if they could get in the end zone here before halftime.
Snap back to Marcus Reed. Reed going up top. He's going to find his receiver that time. That's Shaq Creighton. And Creighton going to haul the ball in for a 5-yard pickup that time. And, you know, if you just get 5 yards of catch, you know, like that right there, you can at least make something positive. But Pontotoc just really hadn't done that so far here in this first half. And we're nearing halftime now. Pontotoc just needing to get something positive going. And a good defensive play that time by number 25 as LZ20 was the intended receiver. And he's going to be a little slow coming off the ground that time. Number 25 that time is Andre Jernigan for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. And that time Marcus Reed put the ball out there. It looked like he might have got around him just a little bit quick, but the ball unable to find the arms of number 20, Elzy. And Elzy's still not looking real good here on the near side here from the far receiver. And that time, big number 11 jumped the count that time. And Channing Ward just a little bit quick there off the ball. Not too sure if he was drawn offside.
Another good-looking player here tonight for Aberdeen is number 25, Jernigan, that play earlier.
Right.
The defensive end there for the Bulldogs. 25 has been all over the field tonight. You've seen him in a lot of the stops. Good-looking young player here tonight. Aberdeen got a lot of talent here returning from this defending. They were the defending 3-8 North Half champions and losing in the state championship after leading by 20 points at halftime.
Exactly right. Marcus Reed looking downfield, scrambling here to the near side of the football field. Tell him to come back. And that time it's Elzy. Elzy looks like he may have enough for a Warrior first down. How many times have we said that tonight?
Is that the first down?
And that is a first down.
They're going to move the sticks.
Moving the sticks. We've got 1 minute and 24 seconds remaining here before halftime. Pontotoc finally with a first down.
And that's amazing.
Unbelievable. Marcus Reed, a lot more time this time. Threw it into a sea of blue that time, and very lucky for Marcus Reed, the ball wasn't picked off that time. a lot more time, but Aberdeen had great coverage downfield, though.
Yeah, Aberdeen playing a strong secondary here, trying to prevent any big play from happening here as we approach halftime. And that time that did allow Reed to get a little more time, but an ill-advised throw could have been an interception easy.
3 receivers set to the top of the screen there for Pontotoc. 1 back in the backfield. That's Fulver with Marcus Reed, and in the vicinity of number 20, Elsie again. But Elsie looks a little ginger on that right ankle, Bill, after he was shaken up a few plays ago. Just unable to make a very good cut that time, and Marcus led him to the inside, and Elsie stayed outside, unable to get on the same page that time. Incomplete pass, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10 from the Bulldog 40-yard line. Marcus Reed out of the shotgun, taking the ball up top and throws it right in the hands of number 25 that you were talking about a few seconds ago. That's Jernigan, and it's going to be 4th down from the 40-yard line in Bulldog territory, and you have to think the Warriors would probably go for it right here in the waning few seconds here of the first half of play. And it's been all Aberdeen so far in this one.
Stay tuned. Halftime coming up. We got the performances by both respected bands here tonight for your halftime entertainment here in about a minute.
Possession play here facing the Warriors. Reed out of the shotgun, under heavy duress. He's trying to get the ball outside, and number 1, Dixon, falls to the turf, catches the football on about the 35-yard line. That's going to be about 5.5 yards short of the first down, and it's going to be 1st down Aberdeen. Aberdeen that time gave up a little bit of yards. Pontotoc finally got a 1st down there on that drive, but unable to get anything successfully toward the end zone, and the Aberdeen Bulldogs defense is once again held.
Well, Coach Chris Duncan coming in tonight probably thinking they're going to have a tight game. He's probably a little surprised at this point in the ball game. His team with a 27-point cushion here tonight, winning last week, scoring 64 points and a 64-6 win on the road to Ray Brooks. And right now giving the Warriors of Pontotoc, the 4A school, all they want here tonight.
A substitution infraction against the Aberdeen Bulldogs. That time they broke the huddle with an extra man, and it's going to cost them 5 yards, and it's going to back them up to about the 33-yard line in Bulldog territory, and it's going to be 1st and 15 here from the Bulldogs on 33-yard line. As it doesn't look like they're going to do anything fancy right here before halftime. Just going to be very, very proud of their big lead there. As you mentioned, 27-0 your score, and as we mentioned, Bill, I'm not exactly sure how you attack this thing here, but you got to try to come up with something positive here to begin second half and just totally restart this ball game if you're a Pontotoc Warrior fan.
Right, you're going to have to, I don't know, you have to somehow try to put the first half behind you. Hard to do, I know, and try to figure out a way to get look at it as a second half. It's a whole new ball game in the second half of action. But right now, the way Aberdeen's playing, it's an uphill battle, down 27-0.
And the first half is in the record books here from Aberdeen, Mississippi, as the Pontotoc Warriors on the road have had no answer for number 1, Victor Hodges, or number 2, Desmond Jones here in this first half, and find themselves trailing 27-0 as the Aberdeen Bulldogs have been in total dominance here in this football game. Pontotoc's got to come up with some answers to get back in this ball game. We invite you to stay tuned for halftime entertainment here as the bands will perform, and we'll be back with second half action here from Aberdeen, Mississippi here in just a little bit. But stay tuned for the marching bands here and their halftime performance. Welcome back to Aberdeen, Mississippi for the high school game of the week here on your local Sports Connection. Mike Campbell, Bill Morgan, proud to bring you the high school game of the week here. Be sure to go by and thank all the fine sponsors bringing you high school football action here possible tonight from Aberdeen, Mississippi. The Pontotoc Warriors will tee the ball up and kick off to the Aberdeen Bulldogs to open up the second half. It's been all Aberdeen here first half. 28-0 your score. Pontotoc got to find a way to get back in this contest right here some way, somehow. But Aberdeen's going to have the football first, and they've got to find an answer for Desmond Jones and Victor Hodges here. And the ball is going to be taken And he's coming to the near side of the football field that time is number 23, the man that had the ball at that time. That is Johnny McMillan. And number 5, Michael Walters, the man for the Warriors that brought him down at that point. So here come the Aberdeen Bulldogs here on offense for the first possession of the second half, leading in the contest 27-0. We're early on here in the third quarter of play here from Aberdeen. Pontotoc still got to find some answers on both sides of the football, but it begins with the defensive stand right here. Jones under center, right backfield behind him. The ball on the ground, and it looks like going to be a shuffle for the football, but it looks like that Aberdeen may have retained possession of the football, but we're still unpiling to see exactly what happened right there. And it is going to be Aberdeen football, as that time Jones had a little bit of trouble coming out from under center with the football, and it's going to be no gain there on the play after the fumble snap, and the ball is going to be spotted back on about the 33-yard line. This time, Jones goes under center, eye backfield behind him once again. Barkin signals a lot of movement along the line, and he's having trouble with the football again. And Jones comes out from under the football, and this time it looks like number 9 has the football for Pontotoc. And that's going to be Reggie Dixon, and Dixon has the football, and there's just a little bit of miscommunication between the center and quarterback exchange there by the Aberdeen Bulldogs 2 times in a row, and this time it favors Pontotoc. And Pontotoc has got a gift here begin second half play as they find themselves 1st and 10 from the Aberdeen 34 after the fumble snap. It looks like one Dixon in at quarterback again. He's got an eye backfield behind him here. Lone receiver to the top and bottom of the screen here for the Warriors. Dixon going to give it to the first man through. That looks like Maurice Berry. But there, number big 11 is there for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Plug in the middle up. That's Channing Ward, and Ward's going to stop Maurice Berry for no gain there on the play. May give him, actually going to give him about a yard maybe. So we'll call it a 2nd and a long 9 here. Ball on about the 34-yard line here in Aberdeen Bulldog territory. The Aberdeen Bulldogs fumbled it on their opening possession here of the second half and giving Pontotoc this field position here. Number 1, Rashad Dixon in at quarterback here for the Warriors to begin second half once again. It's going to be Dixon, the ball carrier. He's under heavy pressure. He's going to pitch back this time. And a lot of upfield pursuit there by the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and he's going to have him across the way. And a big, big play that time by the Aberdeen Bulldogs across the way, led on the play. Looked like maybe number 57 might have been the first man there across the way for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. We've called his name a lot. That's Jordan Gatherings once again, but a ton of blue jerseys there across the way making the stop there on the Warriors. Good job that time of pursuing the football and coming up with a big play. Third down and about 15 here facing the Pontotoc Warriors. Rashad Dixon under center with the eye backfield behind him once again. They're going to try to come here to the near side of the football field. That's Randall Creighton, the ball carrier. He breaks a couple of tackles and finally going to be brought down after a pretty solid gain that time. Number 24, the man that brought him to the ground that time. That's Brandon Smith. And it's going to be 4th down and about 8. Good pickup that time by number 2 out of the backfield, and Pontotoc going to be faced with a 4th down possession play here as Dixon receives the play call from head coach Charlie Dampier on the far sideline. That time brings it into the huddle, and they're going for it. Ball is resting just beyond the 33-yard line on about the 32.5-yard line here in Aberdeen territory. Dixon out of the shotgun. And they're all out of sync there. There's going to be whistles blowing, flags flying before that play ever got going there. And it's going to be illegal procedure against Pontotoc. It's going to cost them 5 yards. And that's going to be about a 4th and 13 situation now. And it's going to be back to about the 38-yard line here where Pontotoc will have the ball. Fourth down and about 13 here for the Warriors. Pontotoc's got to come up with some answers, and it looks like they might try to play field position football, and they're going to bring Jeb Milner back into the contest to punt the football away here once again. Milner was a very active young man in the first half. Nobody back deep to receive this punt. Be good if Milner could drop this thing down inside the 5-yard line here. Punting from about the midfield stripe. Going to be a low snap. And whistles blow, flags fly again here before this play could get going. They're going to try to sort this thing out here. And it appears that it's going to be false start against Pontotoc. It's going to back them up 5 more yards. So Pontotoc going in the wrong direction here. They had a pretty good opening field position for this drive on about their own 35 on Aberdeen's 35-yard line. Had a short field after the gilt, but now they're going in the wrong direction. And here, once again, is 14 Milner to kick the ball away. Milner's kick is down the football field, and it's going to be falling somewhere about the 14-yard line, and the Warriors are finally going to down it on about the 14-yard line. So Aberdeen will have their second possession here of the second half. Not able to get a clean exchange from center both plays they ran first series. Pontotoc able to recover the second one. Got good field position, but unable to move the football once again, as that Aberdeen defense has been very stingy tonight. Had great upfield pursuit and did so just a moment ago on Pontotoc's opening drive here of the second half. And now have the ball back for their offense here. Aberdeen still enjoying that 27-0 advantage that they had at halftime. Jones under center. This time gives it to the first man through, and it's number 10, the ball carrier, and number 12, number 32, and number 90. That's the 3 Pontotoc Warriors defensive that have come up with some big plays so far in this 2010 campaign for the Warrior. Number 90 is Montgomery. Number 12 is Peters, and number 32 is Westbrook. And all 3 of them right there on that play. Going to be a gain of about 1, and it's going to be a 2nd and 9 situation facing Aberdeen. Both teams unsuccessful on their opening drives of the second half. This is Aberdeen's second possession here, and it's going to be Hodges the ball carrier, and Pontotoc a lot better pursuit that time. Going to be another minimal game here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. A lot of white jerseys that time coming off the bottom of the pile. Once again, number 12, Peters. And that time, Pontotoc now puts themselves in a third down, and about a long 7 yards to go, almost 8 yards to go here. Possession play facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs. To the quarterback, Jones under center with I backfield behind him. One receiver top and bottom of the screen. It's going to be a rollout and a big play there by number 90. That young man's playing his heart out, and he's playing with some inspiration here, trying to get his Warrior defense behind him here to begin second half. And he's been in on 4 of the 8 plays that Aberdeen has ran here the second half. And that young man, Devontae Montgomery, Bill, he's playing his heart out here tonight, even though he's not getting a lot of help right now.
Yeah, number 90, Montgomery, we've called his name all night here, and a great job there. A huge play by the Warriors. One of the only bright spots we've seen here tonight by Pontotoc.
We've seen trouble out of this. -5 last time they kicked the ball away. This time off the side of his foot, and just a good job of catching the football that time by Rashad Dixon. Didn't want to let the ball hit the ground and lose any more yardage and lose some of this field position that Pontotoc's have been able to wrestle away from Aberdeen here. And now, Bill, we see that the ball game is being played on the Aberdeen side of the field here to begin second half. So that's a little bit positive for Pontotoc. Now, to get even more positive, it'd be nice if Pontotoc could just find some points right here.
Yeah, nice job there by the Warrior defense that time. And now we got to see what the offense can do. They are in unfamiliar territory in Aberdeen, on the Aberdeen end of the field.
57 right there again. We saw him on the opening drive. He was very effective. And there once again is Jordan Gatherings with another big play. And he was big on that opening drive by Warrior offense in the second half. First possession of the second half. And he's big here to begin this second drive of the second half for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. And, man, he's been active. Number 57 in blue tonight. He's been very, very active here to begin second half.
Yeah, gatherings that time, a huge stop, just nowhere to go for the Warriors as those guys really athletic up front, and they have dominated so far that line here tonight. Aberdeen been all over it.
Dixon under center with the high backfield behind him, and it's going to be Dixon, and there's number 11.
There he is.
There's the big man, Ward. Man, he just came through there, blew through there, and, man, he's just so big and physical. He just threw Dixon around like he's a rag doll. Going to be a loss all the way back to the 48-yard line, and it's going to be a third down possession play facing the Warriors. Now some 15 yards to go.
They estimated Ward maybe 6'3", 6'4", with a 240 frame. Man, that's D1 linebacker size.
I tell you what, he's a big man. Dixon. And there's going to be preliminary activity before the snap of the football again. And the flags fly once again. Instead of third down and 15, now it's going to be third down and about 20 facing Pontotoc after a illegal procedure penalty against the Warriors. And the Warriors, Bill, going in the wrong direction right here.
Again, Dixon surrounded by blue jerseys. Aberdeen all in the backfield all night long. No answer for the offensive line for Pontotoc. They have not been able to do anything, as number 11 and company has just had their way at this line of scrimmage. It's just been unbelievably unbalanced as you watch play-by-play here.
Dixon.
There you are.
And Aberdeen able to come up with it. 1-0 is the man with the ball that time. That's Justin Lucas again. For the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and that time the pitch back just wasn't exactly where Dixon wanted to put it, and left it on the ground that time, the Warriors did. And number 10, Lucas, able to get the ball for the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and now the Warriors give them a gift on the 43-yard line in Warrior territory after the fumble.
Just heavy pressure again, that time by Aberdeen. Pontotoc not able to hang on to the football. All kind of pressure again from the Bulldogs, as they have just done that all night long. And now Aberdeen in really good position to maybe start trying to think about trying to put the game away if they can score here.
Out of the shotgun now, they having trouble with the ball again. Jones taking it out, and he's right on target. It's number 6. Flags flying everywhere. They were going after the football. They may have got a face mask there along the way. As number 6, the recipient of that pass, that is Joshua Ewing. And it's going to be a face mask again by Pontotoc, and it's going to give them probably 15 more yards, you'd have to think, Bill, and their ball on the 29.
Incidental.
And it is an incidental face mask. It'll cost them 5. The ball will be on the 24-yard line to be 1st and 10. Aberdeen Bulldogs from the Warrior 24-yard line, and a good pitch and catch that time. A lot of pressure that time on Desmond Jones, but he found a way to get the ball down the field, wide open down the field that time was Joshua Ewing, and good pitch and catch that time by the Aberdeen Bulldogs. There's a good play there by Maurice Berry, number 4, by the Warriors. As that time he was able to jump up. Desmond Jones' pass was knocked to the ground before it could go out to the receiver there on the outside, and a good-looking play that time by number 4, Maurice Berry of the Warriors.
Well, Jones doing the fake that time to Hodges running to the near side, and good job there, as you said, by Berry, number 4. He's been in on quite a few plays here tonight. But still, you know, whole lot like the first half. It's sort of dominated by the blue jerseys here so far.
Low snap, able to get it and give it the ball to number 1, and that's we hadn't really called his name here second half. That's really the first give they've given to him second half to amount to anything, and Victor Hodges able to reel off a big gain there once again. Now put him in a third down and about 3 situation here, long 3 here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs. We got a heavy dose of number 1, Victor Hodges, in the first half, but that's really the first time we've called his name here in the second half. They've been trying to get the ball to some other people and kind of spread it around. This time they're going to come out with a 4-receiver set, 3 to the top, 1 back in the backfield, which is Hodges with a quarterback Jones. They're going to try to run the little option right here. Good looking play that time, and there he is. Number 90 once again. I tell you what now, he's playing with some inspiration. That if everybody would follow his lead, Devontae Montgomery's trying to show him which way to go, and that's up. And he has made some big stops here in this second half to begin this second half once again from that nose guard position.
How about Montgomery with a nose guard now with a little speed of his own? Matching Hodges' speed there, and that time just all over Hodges that time. Montgomery just shutting him down.
Loss on the play, back to about the 21-yard line or so. And we'll give it a fourth down possession play here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs. It's going to be Jones rolling to this side of the football field. Maurice Berry had him. Somehow or another gets out. Whereas number 12, Peters, plants him in the ground. He's going to be a little slower to get up here off the turf this time. And good upfield pursuit that time by Peters and Maurice Berry. And Peters able to bring him to the ground. He was able to get the ball down the field. So it's going to be a hold on downs that time by Pontotoc. And Pontotoc able to hold Aberdeen once again and get the ball back for their offense. Going to take possession of the ball right on the 20-yard line.
How about number 12, Anthony Peters? I tell you what, he has really turned into a playmaker here in the second official game of the season. We saw him last week come in strong, and I tell you, he's going to be a playmaker all year for this team. You can just tell by watching.
Just a sophomore.
Right.
Number 2, Randall Creighton, the ball carrier. Going to have very minimal gain there once again as he just leans forward as 23 comes off the bottom of the pile that time for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Number 23 being Johnny McMillan. Several other blue jerseys in the area, but I believe McMillan was the first man there, and it's going to be a second down. Second down and about 8 as they're going to spot him right about the 22-yard line. So Pontotoc faced with a second down and 8 situation from their own 22-yard line as it looks like Reed back in at quarterback now. And here comes Creighton. But Creighton just can't get his wheels turning. He's going to be up to about the 24-yard line, and it's going to be a third down and about 6 there.
There he is, Jernigan.
Andre
Number
Jernigan,
25.
the first man there for the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and we've seen this Aberdeen team. They pursue up the field very, very effectively, and they've got a lot of men in position to make the play every time Pontotoc tries something, but the main thing is Pontotoc just can't find anything offensively. Just not very many first downs here in this ball game here tonight. They're going for the home run. He's got a man in the area. And that looked like number 8 there for Pontotoc on the top of the screen. That's Shaq Gilliard. And coverage down the field applied by number 13, it appears, for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. That is Johnny Wilson. And Wilson had good coverage there on the top of the screen that time on Gilliard. And he's going to fall back to receive this Pontotoc punt. As Johnny Wilson, the cornerback, going to stay in to receive this punt as number 14, Jeb Milner, in to kick the ball away. Bill, we saw him punt the football many, many times in the first half. Had trouble with it twice. And now flags fly. More trouble.
A lot of special teams mistakes here tonight by the Pontotoc Warriors.
And it's going to be a flag against Pontotoc. It's going to back them up, and they're going to have even a bigger hole to come out of. Now the ball's placed back on the 18-yard line. So Milner going to be kicking the ball inside the 10-yard line here, trying to get this ball away. He's had a lot of pressure on him here tonight. And they run all over the top of him, run into the kicker. And
no flag.
They say he got pushed into him.
Looked like it might have been Channing, number 11, that got pushed. I didn't see exactly who fell into him.
Yeah, it was Channing Ward that fell into him, but they said that he got pushed that time. Must have been Jernigan must have pushed him into him. That's what they say, but nonetheless, the ball's going to be spotted right at the midfield stripe where Aberdeen will have the ball 1st and 10 from that point.
Well, it's been a game of pressure by Aberdeen all night long. No time for the Warriors offensively to really even get their wheels under them. No. Unlike last week, they can't make the corner with that speed. They got too much speed on the other side of the football, and Aberdeen shutting them down on the corners.
Jones out of the shotgun. And Pontotoc jumps the snap here again. 28 that time. Looked like he just came into the neutral zone that time. And it's going to cost them 5, and it's going to move the ball down into Warrior territory on the 45-yard line, where it'll be first and 5 now for the Aberdeen Bulldogs from the Pontotoc 45. Jones out of the shotgun formation. It's going to be 1 to ball carrier, and there's number 90 once again. And I tell you what, man, he's playing his heart out. Montgomery with another huge stop. It's going to be a loss all the way back to about the 47-yard line, and that's a terrible spot because he sacked him about the 50-yard line, but they're going to blow him dead on about the 47.5-yard line. So it's going to be second down and about 7.5 here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and Montgomery with another excellent play on defense.
Nice job, really playing his heart out here tonight, down by 27, but you wouldn't know it by watching him each play.
He's blowing that center backwards. He's after him once again, and he was able to trip him up once again. And that's Montgomery. He's playing. Boy, he blew that center back 2 yards in the backfield as soon as he snapped the football. He was on the heels of the running back, able to trip him up. Going to put him in a third down and about 4 situation here. Ball just in front of the 44-yard line in Pontotoc territory here. Big third down play facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs right here. Pontotoc needs to hold where they can get the ball back. You'd think they might punt the football back to Pontotoc if they could hold right here. Jones under center. Gives the ball straight up the middle, and it looks like a new runner in there this time. He's got first down yardage, fresh legs, as Peters, along with to bring him down. But the ball carrier that time, number 22, it appears, and that's Harrison for the Bulldogs. He fights for yardage, and he might be about the length of the football short here. Didn't get a very favorable spot if you're an Aberdeen Bulldog fan. Looks like they're going to be about the length of the football short of first down yardage. They need to get right to the 40-yard line, but it's not going to ever happen here in this third quarter. And the third quarter is over. It's over with, and it's going to be 27-0. Your halftime score still stands. Nobody scores here in the third quarter. And the Aberdeen Bulldogs clinging to a 27-0 advantage. Pontotoc with one more quarter, Bill, to figure it out and see if they can get on the scoreboard. They've been shut out here for 3 quarters.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, just give credit where credit is due here. Coach Chris Duncan's team coming in here tonight at home, knowing next week they got the big game here with the big rival Amory. But, hey, not looking ahead there, up 27 points on a good Warrior team. And trying to get a little revenge, you might say, from that last year's 10-point loss at Pontotoc. Warriors won that one 24-14. Unofficially, here's stats tonight for number 1, Victor Hodges, 81 yards in the first half, 3 touchdowns. We don't have a total. We just have the total for that first half of play. So Victor Hodges continuing with his ways here tonight. He's been the playmaker.
I knew he had to be getting close to 100 yards there in that first half, and
right.
But they really didn't do anything that third quarter, Bill. It was a very quick third quarter. They just kept the ball on the ground. Pontotoc had the ball, had some fairly decent field position compared to what they've been having or whatever. But here's a 4th down conversion play upcoming for Aberdeen. They're about the length of the football, shy of first down yardage, and Pontotoc jumps off sides.
Wow.
Going to give it to them the easy way. And Pontotoc just not disciplined enough, Bill, to stay on sides there till the snap of the football, and it's going to give Aberdeen a first down here the easy way, and you don't want to see that here in a game that has been pretty well decided, but Pontotoc just wanting to get the ball back for their offense, keep Aberdeen away from the football, and their offense is going to be able to continue to roll this time by just not enough discipline there by the Warriors jumping off sides.
Well, good call that time by the Aberdeen coaching staff. You know, you might figure Pontotoc aggressive, trying to get something going, trying to get a little momentum, and just give them, maybe get them off sides. That's exactly what they done. Warriors jump early, and Aberdeen first down. I was going to say that was all about a must-stop for the Warriors in this ball game.
Right.
But, nonetheless, Bulldogs going to have a fresh new set of downs here.
Jones giving it off to number 1. He's going up the field. He's still on his feet. He's finally going to be brought off his feet by number 28 that time by the Warriors. That's Chance Cummings. Cummings able to bring the fine-looking Victor Hodges down to the ground, but the ball is going to be spotted somewhere about the 28-yard line, and it's going to be a second down and about 3 situation here facing these Aberdeen Bulldogs. The Bulldogs in firm control of this game, leading 27-0. We're early on here in the fourth quarter of play, but the Aberdeen Bulldogs just looking to run clock here. They made their statement in the first half. Desmond Jones gives the ball off to Victor Hodges, and Hodges is off to the races. He's finally going to be upended, but he's got first down yardage and a lot more to go with it as Maurice Berry able to bring him down, but not until he reached about the 12-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10, Aberdeen Bulldogs.
Well, I'll tell you, a very balanced attack here tonight, a very impressive Aberdeen team that's probably expected to contend for this, definitely this division, and even in the 3A in the North. And they're showing right now they've got the talent on both sides of football to get it done.
Not exactly how much depth they got, Bill, but if this first string stays healthy, they're going to be very effective. As that time, number 2, Jones, out of the quarterback position, takes it upon himself and just runs over Pontotoc Warriors, and 3 Warriors laying flat of their back. And Jones comes up out of the end zone with another touchdown to his credit and increases their advantage here. And it's still dominant here by the blue and white of the Aberdeen Bulldogs.
Yeah, Jones that time just having his way, nothing fancy, just running the football, making guys miss, running over would-be tacklers. Looks like the Warriors have kind of given in to defeat here tonight. As you said, 3 of them on the ground, just kind of shaking their heads. Jones with 6 more points on the board. Aberdeen, we're kind of shocked here. You know, we thought this would be a competitive ball game, but nonetheless, Aberdeen's dominated it here already in this ball game here tonight.
A few personnel problems here for the blue and white as they've still got 12 seconds to snap this football. Should be able to still have a extra point attempt here. The snap back is up and the kick is up also, and it is good this time. As number 30 able to drive it through the uprights that time, and that's Matthew Stranger, and he gets the ball in through the uprights and increases the Pontotoc lead, and the Aberdeen Bulldogs 34. The Pontotoc Warriors 0, and Pontotoc's got a man down on the field, Bill, inside the 5-yard line, and he looks like he's in pretty bad shape right here as the trainers come in to assist him, and he is in a lot of pain. It looks like Coach Ben Ashley out there
85.
Trying to get him up, and that's number 85, and we apologize. We don't have that young man's name for Pontotoc. We've got an abbreviated roster here tonight as Aberdeen did not have their programs printed, and he's going off the field with a little bit of assistance here, and Aberdeen getting set to kick the ball back to the Warriors. As the Aberdeen Bulldogs getting set to tee the football up, which they've done very many times already tonight. Pontotoc, Bill, just needs to come up with a positive drive here resulting in points. They just have not had anything positive happen offensively. It's been disaster from the word go, and it'd be nice just to see Pontotoc get something positive that resulted in points right here.
Well, you know, we got 10:51 to go in the game, and what do we have? 1 first down? That kind of tells the story.
I tell you what, it's
One
been,
first
it's
down
been
for
tough.
the Warriors.
It's been tough.
Chris Griffin was that injured football player. Number, what was it?
85.
Chris Griffin, yeah.
So the Warriors getting set to receive the kickoff. It looks like number 3, Shaq Creighton, in the middle of the field this time. And it's going to be number 5, going to be the man with the football, and he's not going to have very much yardage, but he is going to get up to the 30-yard line. Number 5 being Michael Walters. He was the recipient of the kickoff that time, brought it back to the 30-yard line, and Pontotoc will bring their offense back on the field, Bill. They've had little success, as you mentioned, only one or maybe 2 first downs. I don't remember, but 1 also. But Pontotoc needs to come up with something positive. They've really been out of sync, and it looks like number 7 going to come in, Marcus Reed. We saw Reed, the quarterback, a week ago, majority of the game, very limited action from quarterback was Rashad Dixon. Now this week, we've seen Dixon with majority of the snap, Marcus Reed in limited action out of the quarterback position, so it's been a reverse role, and it's been a reverse result also. As Marcus Reed this time gets the ball straight up the middle, dropped flat of his back before he could get his wheels up under him by number 54 that time. That's Foshee. As Foshee able to upend him. And it's going to be a loss of about the length of the football. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. And Pontotoc, Bill, once again, no offensive pressure whatsoever, as the defense has just been dominant here tonight in Aberdeen.
Those guys up front have been really, really impressive here tonight at home.
Marcus Reed delivering the ball down the field. That time hit him right in the hands, just unable to bring in the football was number 8. Shaq Gilliard, and the young receiver for the Warriors, number 8, just unable to bring the ball in there. Marcus delivered a pretty good ball that time, just couldn't be caught that time, but he was hit right as the ball got there. Good job that time by the Aberdeen Bulldogs once again. Now 3rd down possession play facing the Warriors once again. 7, Marcus Reed under center, eye backfield behind him. One receiver top and bottom of the screen. This time a better looking run that time by Creighton, and Creighton's going to be upended on about the 38-yard line, and it's going to be a 4th down and about 2 to go here for the Warriors. The go for it, Bill. I mean, you really don't have anything to lose. The ball game's pretty well been decided. It'd be great if Pontotoc could just keep the offense rolling right here, but it looks like they're going to bring Jeb Milner in, and he's going to punt the football away.
Well, if they've given Amory short field all night, I guess they want to give him another short field, or take the chance to give him another short field to even add insult to injury with a 34-point lead right now.
Aberdeen still in full control of this football game. As Jeb Milner comes forward on the football, another good-looking kick by Milner, and whoo, what a block! And here Pontotoc got him going the wrong way a little hit from behind that time by number 10, and I think it's going to be called. They did call it. It was a late flag came in, but I think they got him. Maybe 10 hit him. He hit Reggie Dixon in the back. And I didn't think they were going to call it for a few minutes. Finally, the judge from the far side of the field comes running in, throws the flag late on the 30-yard line, and it should be a clip that time, as he did block in the back that time.
I believe that was Lucas that was guilty on that.
And that was Lucas, the guilty party that time for Aberdeen. It's going to cost the blue and white some yardage there. I didn't think they were going to call it, Bill. A very late flag came in. I saw it when it happened, but I didn't think they were going to call it, as Dixon was knocked to the ground from behind. And it's going to be a loss back to about the 20-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the blue and white of Aberdeen from their own 20-yard line.
Good job that time by the officials' eyes. A lot of times those get unnoticed and uncalled.
Right.
Good job.
16 in at quarterback now for the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and 22 the ball carrier. 16 the new quarterback is Chris McMillan. 22 is Harrison, and Harrison with another 1st down run for Aberdeen. Bill, they even got the youngsters in, and they're still running wild here tonight.
9th grader there, I believe.
9th grader there running the football now for the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and he's doing a great job. Harrison running the football.
They have got the youngsters in here tonight.
Good-looking running back, just a 9th grader. As we said, 16, Chris McMillan now in at quarterback here for the Bulldogs. .22 running over some people, as 76 into the game for the Warriors, making a big tackle that time. That's Cole Strong.
A couple of weeks back, we understand this Aberdeen team taking 6A Columbus down to the wire, and that was without the services of number 1 Victor Hodges. He did not play in that ball game, and very close game there with Columbus. So speaks highly of what a talented 3A school this is here.
Number 34 now checked in as a running back. That's Travin Jones. There he goes to the top of the screen. He's moving his feet very effectively. He's going off to the races. He's into Warrior territory, and he's going to be brought down across the way there by a lot of white jerseys. It looked like number 76 in pursuit of the ball there. Once again, Strong once again from his down lineman position for the Warriors defense over the top. But a big first down pickup that time on the legs of the youngster, number 34, Trevin Jones. A lot of the same names on this Aberdeen team. I guess they all family.
Absolutely.
He's trying to give it to him again. Good looking tackle that time. Warriors in good pursuit of the football. Number 4, Maurice Berry. Flag coming in from behind again. They had a couple of holding looking opportunities there to call. They finally did call it. They're throwing late flags.
Yeah.
They are throwing them, but they're late really after the play's already by whatever it was that they should have been calling. But fortunately for the Warriors, they're moving the blue and white of the Aberdeen Bulldogs up back into Aberdeen territory to about the 42-yard line.
Well.
And Pontotoc running out of opportunities and time here as we're at the 7-minute 27 mark of the fourth quarter of play. And the Aberdeen Bulldogs still in total dominance of this football game. .22, Harrison, the ball carrier, running all over white jerseys. And Rakestraw and Gilliard along with Peters all combining, but not until that youngster Harrison runs over 2 or 3 white jerseys and gets nearly up to the midfield stripe. They're actually going to mark him on the 49-yard line back in Aberdeen territory, where it'll be second down and about 14 yards to go here for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Now out of the shotgun formation here is McMillan. McMillan gives it to 22 Harrison, and he got slammed down by his face mask that time, and flags fly everywhere as Peters that time got a little bit too hasty with the tackle and a personal foul. Face mask there by number 12 Peters, and very unfortunate for the Warriors. They had him stopped there. Good upfield pursuit that time, but just got a little bit too hasty and got up high.
That's the 15-yarder, so
automatic first down.
Oh, yeah. You got to think, if you're the Warriors and you see that 7:08 left, how long does that seem like in this ball game? 7 minutes, 8 seconds can't go off fast enough for them. Of course, they're just trying to maintain that score, keep Aberdeen out of the end zone and get out of here and get set and get the game plan going for next week for Ripley.
I thought it was automatic first down, but I guess not.
Oh!
Harrison that time upended as number 5 comes up, Michael Walters, and it's going to be another Bulldog first down on about the 30-yard line, and Aberdeen marching the football toward pay dirt here once again as the youngster 22, the ball carrier, that's Harrison once again, and he picks up a big first down, keeps the chains rolling here as the blue and white now has a bunch of youngsters into the ball game. Bill, they're still moving the ball here effectively against the Warriors.
You know, you got to wonder when the last time was Pontotoc was held scoreless. Should this score hold?
16 takes the ball. He's going to run the quarterback keeper that time, and good over-the-top pursuit that time by Wes Brooks, along with 76 also there again. Once again, Cole Strong. He's been big there. Coming in late in the game here for the Warriors from his down line position. 76 for Pontotoc. Going to be a gain of about 1. We'll call it a second down and 9 situation as the ball just across the 30-yard line to about the 29 in Warrior territory. Here comes 22, the ball carrier Harrison again. He's going to be knocked off his feet there by number 6 there on the outside for the Warriors. That's Ladarius Vaughn. It's going to be a third down and a long yard and a half here to go for the Aberdeen Bulldogs. on the Pontotoc 21.5-yard line.
You take a look at Peters and some of those guys, they are tired.
Oh, yeah.
They have played some ball, and they've been on the field a lot here tonight as they're kind of slumping over and just gasping for this clock to run out.
16, quarterback still in the gun contest. That's Chris McMillan. He's under center. He's going to give it to the first man through. 34, the ball carrier, and he's going to be very near first down yardage. He's going to be right on top of the 20-yard line that time as number 55, Drew Holloway.
Yeah.
The first man there for the Warriors, and it's going to be another first down pickup there for the youngster, number 34, the ball carrier. That's Trevin Jones once again. And the blue and white of Aberdeen gets another first down and a fresh set of downs here as the clock continues to roll. 1st and 10 from the Warrior 20-yard line here for Aberdeen. McMillan under center. He's going to give it to 34 again, trying to get to the outside. A lot of upfield pursuit by the white, but he still got positive yardage. He's going to pick up 5 hard yards there across the top of the screen that time. And once again, Trevin Jones, the ball carrier.
Take a look at number 11 out there, Soup. I think his work's done tonight as he's on the sidelines and going to be thinking about Amory already. Probably one of the most talented young men we'll see all season.
Channing Ward with another fine effort here tonight, as the whole Aberdeen football team has to be commended on a great effort as they had a great game plan, came in and set the tempo early in this game, and it's been total dominance here by the blue and white of the Aberdeen Bulldogs as 16 takes the snap, gives it off to 34, and he's having trouble getting his wheels going that time, and good upfield pursuit that time by number 9, Reggie Dixon of the Warriors, and it's going to be a loss back to about the 25 there on the play. Make that to 15 there on the play as the Warriors with good upfield pursuit that time as the Aberdeen Bulldogs going to be third down, and about 5 to go.
Aberdeen, like we said, just setting a tempo early on in this ball game and never letting up as they took control really of the ball game in the first quarter and put the exclamation point on in the second quarter.
A lot of upfield pursuit there. And Falver, 27, the first man there in the white jerseys that time, and it's going to be another loss there. Peters also there on the play as the Warriors going to knock him back, and it's going to be 4th down possession play here facing the Aberdeen Bulldogs. Some 9 yards to go.
Really, this second half has been just burning clock because they've had the opportunity to really put the game away in the first half of play. Pontotoc really didn't come back in the second half, show me anything. They really had no answers, and sort of the same as we saw in the first half, and just could not get anything going against Aberdeen on either side of the football. And, really they hadn't really had to use Hodges here in the second half at all.
And the Aberdeen Bulldogs look like they're going to attempt a field goal try, but before that could happen, they're going to ask for and receive a timeout. So with a timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout with them. Be back here at Aberdeen in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Back here to action. It looked like Aberdeen has rethought their doings, and they're going to go for it here. 4th down and a long 9, and they're going to give the ball to 22 Harrison. Harrison going to be knocked off his feet. 6, the first man there. That's Darius Vaughn, and Pontotoc is going to take possession of the football on about the 18 to 20-yard line, depending on the spot of the football here. And they're going to have one more shot at their offense here tonight, Bill, but I'll tell you what, man, I don't know. You can't really say anything more than we've already said. It's been total domination by the Aberdeen Bulldogs, and Pontotoc just hadn't really ever got their feet rolling here in this ball game, and they need to really get something offensively going here just to build for next week as they'll be on the road once again next Friday night from Ripley.
That's exactly right, but it just wasn't meant to be here tonight as you take a look at that play there.
Falver.
Aberdeen just total domination here tonight, and of course give a lot of credit to that young man right there as you take a look at him on the sidelines, number 1, and that's Victor Hodges. And we talked about him pregame, and he lived up to the billing here tonight. We know he had 81 yards in the first half alone, 3 touchdowns. Dylan really didn't use him a lot in the second half as he really wasn't needed. Very nice looking, small built, but a fantastic runner here tonight, doing a great job for Aberdeen.
he'll be getting set for the Amory Panthers to come to town
That's
here from Aberdeen next Friday night. That should be a good contest there.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's going to be interesting. Talking to the locals here, you know, they have a lot of trouble with Amory. No matter what kind of team Amory sports, they always give Aberdeen a whole lot of problems. But I tell you what, that should be an interesting game here next week. You know, the Bulldogs are going to be fired up, ready to go after 2 big wins in a row, and almost 3-0. But they're going to get a shot at their arch rival next week in what we call what's known here's the A game, as they'll get set for Amory coming to town. Warriors going to have to kind of regroup and go back home and get ready to travel for the second week in a row and go up to Ripley and see what they can do there as they face their second 3A school in 2 weeks. As you see the Bulldogs celebrating here on the near side. This victory been in hand for quite some time already here tonight. 1:48 left to go here on the clock. Again, we'd like to thank all of our fine sponsors bringing you the action around the area. Be sure and go by and patronize all of our businesses and thank them for their support of local high school football on TV7 and MetroCast Cable Channel 98, Amory, Aberdeen, the Pontotoc areas, all proud to watch. Be sure and join in for the games starting on Friday nights at 9 and all day on Saturday, each and every weekend here on your local Sports Connection.
As Marcus Reed in at quarterback, is going to be Fowler, the ball carrier. Fowler with a good-looking run here as 27 burst through. He's still playing with a lot of heart there. It's a good run that time on the left side of the offensive line that time, and it's going to be a pickup to about the 38-yard line. It's going to be a first down 10 situation by the Warriors. And Fowler, we saw him a week ago, Bill. He's got some determination and another fine run there. It's going to be Fowler, the ball carrier again. This time he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield as 56 and 32, the first people there. 56 is Cox, and 32 is not real sure. He's not on the roster, and we apologize for that. But a good-looking tackle there from outside linebacker position there for 32 in the blue and white. No gain there on the play by Fowler. Marcus Reed under center for the Warriors. Is going to give a give to Fowler again here on the near side, and he lowers his head. He's running over people, and he's going to pick up about 11 more yards. He's going to be about to the 49-yard line, approaching the midfield stripe, and it's going to be a first down pickup as they're actually going to mark him right at the midfield stripe, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Pontotoc. The clock continues to run. We're 43 seconds away from the end of this contest. It's been all Aberdeen. Aberdeen 34. And the Warriors 0. And it's going to be Fowler, the ball carrier again. As he's going to have yardage up to the 47-yard line in Aberdeen territory. The coaches all get a good Gatorade bath here to end this contest. As that's going to wrap it up here from Aberdeen. A very convincing big victory here by the Aberdeen Bulldogs. And Bill, we've already said just about everything that can be said about this contest. It was all Aberdeen from the get-go, and they totally dominated this football game. And Coach Charlie Dampier, he's got a tough task ahead of him this next week. That's to get these Pontotoc Warriors focused back on football, get them ready to go to Ripley. And nothing's going to be easy from here, Bill. They've got to totally regroup, come back and get refocused, and it's going to take a good effort by Coach Charlie Dampier and this coaching staff of Pontotoc to get these Warriors back in line here.
Well, you got another non-division game coming up next week, so you just got to go out and play and learn from your mistakes. Try to, as you said, get them geared up again for that game, because when your division hits, you want to be playing at the top of your game. When you start playing your Shannons and your New Albanys and your Itawambas, you got to be at the top of your game. So right now, Pontotoc's got to go back. They got a lot to work on. as you said, to get ready for that game coming up at Ripley next week as they'll be on the road. You and I will be right here next week again. We'd like to thank all the fine folks here at Aberdeen making us feel at home, and nice refreshments here, a beautiful facility. We look forward to next week coming back and watching them play in the A game there with Amory and Soup. That should be a very interesting contest there as well. I'm looking forward to that one after seeing this team here tonight play. That should be very exciting when we get to come back here next week.
Should be an exciting game. As you mentioned, the A game here from Aberdeen next week as the Amory Panthers will be calling. As we mentioned, Pontotoc travels to Ripley next week. Should be another exciting week of football, another 3A opponent. You have to think if you could get your team ready, they'd have a chance there at Ripley to get back in the win column next week. But Pontotoc falls short here tonight. Total domination as the Aberdeen Bulldogs put it to the Pontotoc Warriors. But for Bill Morgan, this is Mike Campbell bidding you a pleasant good evening from Aberdeen, Mississippi. Hope everything works out well. Stay tuned with us. Be sure to go by and thank our fine sponsors bringing you football action throughout the year. Join us again here soon.